All right, there's probably a bunch of you that are wondering how to create threads of your own on your parts. So what we're going to do is show you how to create threads. Typically, you're going to have a cylindrical surface that you're doing threads on, either on the interior or the exterior. And so let's get right to it. Your first step is to create something called a helix on the outside of your cylindrical surface. So a helix looks like this right here. I'm going to click on helix. You're asked to select the face that you're going to use, which would be that face right there, and you'll see that the helix draws basically a spiral. You can put however many revolutions you want. All right, so maybe we'll do 8 on this one. You can also, let me see if, go back and edit that. Choose clockwise versus counterclockwise for that. Instead of turns, you could do pitch. So each of your threads on something that typically has threads would have a pitch to the threads. You can use the pitch. You could do just how far you want to go and the number of turns. So let's say we only want to go, let's see, might have to switch directions here. I would choose circular edge from there down. All right, that's 1 inch. I could choose height and pitch. So I only want it to go 1 inch, and I want it to have a pitch of 0.25, for instance, and it's going to do that. All sorts of different ways you could do what you want. So I'm going to go back to turns. We're just going to do a number of turns here, which is 8, and hit the check mark, and the helix is created. So now what we need to do is we need to make a profile of our thread. So our thread has, a tiny little profile. You're going to have to look at it really closely. But what I want to do is start a sketch on a plane that's going right through the middle so I can get it right at the point of intersection of the helix. So I'm going to choose this plane that's going through the middle of my cylinder. I'm going to view normal to that, zoom in, and if I try to create something right now, I don't have anything I can lock into because none of these things are actually on the surface that I wanted. So before I do that, I'm going to choose 2 things. I'm going to choose the intersection. When I choose intersection, I'm clicking on a part, and I want to find all the places where that part intersects the plane that I'm using. And then the other one I want to use is called use. And use means that I'm finding a sketch feature, for instance, that I want to incorporate into the sketch plane that I'm using right now. All right, so if I quickly turn that, you'll notice that there's a sketch of kind of the profile of the helix, and then there's the actual helix, 2 different things there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a triangle right here. Now, not all threads are triangles, but I'm just kind of giving you the idea. And if I create that triangle there, then I have a profile, and now I can do a sweep. So I'm going to sweep this triangle along the helical path. Now I need to be careful that I choose the actual helix and not that sketch back there. So I want the helix, and there it goes. Looks a lot like a screw or a bolt.